Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. We're on several platforms here this morning, so I'm just trying to make sure we have everything together. Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I pray that your week is off to a fabulous start and that your weekend was blessed. It was Pentecost Sunday. So I pray that you all had a great Sunday of celebration. And as I said, I hope your Tuesday is off to a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful start. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. And good morning, good morning, good morning from Amazing Rare Rubies. It is time for our ABCs of Finance moment. My name is Mika McLendon. I'm the founder and CEO of Amazing Rare Rubies, and we are a women's organization that is designed to encourage women to become the woman God created them to be. We're so excited about this organization because we have found that as women working on our pillars, working on our becoming, that we have a lot of work to do. We really have found that overall, we have a lot of work to do on this path to becoming, but that's okay because God gives us what we need to get there and supports us in getting there. So when I say pillars, I am talking about the 7 foundational pillars that Amazing Rare Rubies leans on for our wholeness, for that complete Proverbs 31 woman. So I'm talking about your spiritual pillar, your mindfulness pillar, your wellness pillar, your financial pillar. Yeah, you know, that's the big one we focus on, right? Your relationship pillar, your business pillar, and yes, fun pillar, because in all of this becoming and doing everything that God has called us to do, we have got to make sure that we're having fun at the same time in all of this. So the Amazing Rare Rubies ABCs of Finance moment was birthed because we found in housing and holding, entertaining, putting on, producing, whatever word you want to put out there, conferences, webinars, live events, etc., that women were truly struggling with paying to attend these particular events. And here's the thing, the women still found these events very useful, very needed, and extremely helpful. But what would happen is that we would put the information out there. And once we put the information out there, we look for individuals, of course, to sign up. And we would have maybe 10, 15 people 2 days before the event. And then the day before and the day of, here come all these people ready to pay for the event. And so what God began to lay on my heart is that we are truly struggling with our finances. We're truly struggling with where we should be financially and having a healthy relationship with our finances. That is the big part, having a healthy relationship. Now, we know how to go make money. We know how to go to work. We know how to spend money. We know how to pay bills and go have fun. But do we know how to have a true, healthy relationship with our money? We have found that that is the big struggle. That is where a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck lives. And so that's why the ABCs of Finance moment is here. It's all about providing tips and nuggets that will enhance our overall financial literacy one step at a time. And the thing about this is, regardless of where you are, right, you can start. It's never too late to begin to be. And we believe in helping people ascertain this and accomplish this by meeting them where they are. So you can begin to be right where you are. So today on the ABCs of Finance moment, I want to talk to you about milestones. Yeah, milestones. So what are they, right? So milestones are kind of like development trackers, right? They're here to help us monitor our progress, monitor our achievement. Are we on task to what we have been called to do? Are we on schedule for whatever that milestone is that we've set? Are we on schedule to meet the overall task, the overall accomplishment here? And bear with me, because as I said, we're on multiple platforms here. So I just want to make sure. Okay. And they can hear me. Excellent. So we want to make sure we set these milestones because, right, it's a development tracker. It's going to help us identify if we're on task, if we're on schedule to meet that goal. And you all know I'm a huge believer on write the vision, make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. We've got to write it out. We've got to make sure that it's plain. But what I've learned as I've enhanced my own financial literacy is that we all, and I mean all, we like to see those little steps of success. We like to see that we made it from point A to point A2, right? Not maybe B, but point A2. We like to see that we made some progress. And so milestones help us track that particular process. Milestones will help us track the development of where we are. It's going to help us make sure that we've met and accomplished the checkpoints along the way. So what are some different things that we need to create milestones for, right? What are some of those different things we need to create milestones for? Well, how about to get rid of debt? That's a big one. So in the ABCs of Finance class, one of the things that I talk about is how we can go about getting rid of debt and reducing debt. If we start and organize and outline our debt to where we can put milestones to identify those particular accomplishments as we get there, it helps our inner momentum to keep going, right? To keep working towards the next milestone. So debt is a big one. What about your credit card score? Not credit card, your credit score. Your credit score, right? So many individuals are struggling with their credit scores right now. I remember back in the day when 620 was like considered really, really a good credit score, right? You could buy a house with that 620 and get a pretty decent interest rate. How do I know? I used to have one. Yeah, had a 600 and something credit score, lower 600s. And I did. I bought my house. And my house note was not astronomical. It was pretty decent, right? With a 620 something credit score. But today, a 600 is not great at all. They're looking for individuals to have like a 700 plus, 720 or higher. And even in having an 800 credit score, fighting to get good interest rates right now is extremely hard. Housing, oh my God, it's up to 6%. A 6% interest rate. But if you have like an 800 and some credit score, that's only getting you like 5. That's a lot of interest to be paying, right? So a milestone, right, is getting that credit in order. What do we need that credit to look like? That's going to be huge. Another one is the second part of what I was talking about. Housing. Housing is big right now. How about a milestone of when you're going to buy your house, right? And what does that look like? How are you going to track your success? You know, we all would like to purchase homes, right? And be home owners, be debt free, have $1 million plus, to our name. We all like those things. But then are we truly setting ourselves up to accomplish them? And that's where your milestones are going to come in and help. Here's another one. How about retirement? And this is a big one. I'm going to spend a little bit more time here today talking about milestones in retirement than any other area, right? So retirement is something that we need to plan for. Amazingly, we don't really plan for it. A lot of people don't plan. 39% of Americans have no savings, not set up for retirement, not ready for when they hit that 60, 65, 67, not ready for retirement. We've got to begin to work on that. You need to identify some milestones of how you're going to reach your designated retirement number to be ready to retire. So here's some rule of thumbs and things for you. So number one, when you're setting your milestone goals, you need to make sure that they're SMART goals. We talk about SMART goals in the ABCs of Finance class. You need to make sure that they are SMART goals, right? You need to make sure that there's some accountability in there. You need to make sure that you're tracking the success. Don't just say, I want to save, I want to have $1 million for retirement. By the way, even in having $1 million for retirement, when the average withdrawal for retirement yearly is about 4%. Now, some people may decide to go 5%, 6%, etc., but the average that they recommend is 4%. Well, 4% of $1 million is $40,000. Yeah, you heard that right. $40,000. And so with that $40,000, people go, well, that's not a lot of money. I want an $80,000 retirement. Well, guess what? You need about $2 million to take out 4%. Now, some people decide to take out more than that. But then the purpose of your retirement is to actually measure it out or begin to pull from it a little bit at a time that will last you for however long you're planning for your retirement money to last. When most people retire, most people are looking at, hopefully another 20, 30 years of life. So will your retirement last that long? So you've got to make sure that your retirement, right, is in SMART goals. Again, write the vision, make it plain, Habakkuk 2:2. So let's go dig into that a little bit more on these milestones of retirement. Understanding that 39% don't even have savings. 39% of Americans, no savings, right? What should they be doing, right? So again, because it's all about beginning to be right where you are. If you're one of those Americans that don't have any savings right now, don't have an emergency fund, that's okay. Start where you are. Begin to be right where you are. So here's the thing. Here's a rule of thumb for you. You should begin to save at least 15% of your salary. Yep, 15%. Of your salary. If you can't do 15, start at 10. Can't do 10, start at 5. Begin to be right where you are, but make sure you start. The goal is to get to where you're doing at least 15%. Now, here's the thing. 15% of your salary is going to put you closer and closer to being on track to where you want to be when it comes to your finances. Okay, it's going to put you closer and closer to being on track to where you want to be when it comes down to your finances. Okay, so you want to make sure you're doing that 15%. Okay, that 15%. Here's the outline for you age-wise, and this was really, really big. You look at a person averaging $60,000 a year, and we use 60,000 in our ABCs of Finance class. It's been very, very helpful, right? Because it's easy to divide it by 12. You get 5,000. The math just becomes really easy to get the example out there. So a person making $60,000 a year, and this is where you find where you fit in what I'm about to read out. If you are 25 or less, you need to save at least half or 1 times your salary. So if you're 25 making $60,000, you need to have $30,000 to $60,000 saved at 25. Yep, you heard me, at 25. Now, amazingly, most 25-year-olds don't have that. This is how we know we're not really taught to set up these proper milestones to make sure that we get to where we want to be and need to be financially for retirement. So this is talking about starting way before you in your 40s, when most people realize, oh, I should have been saving for my retirement when they're in their 40s, right? No, we need to start earlier than that. 25, save half to 1 year's worth of salary by the time you're 25. Okay. Then by the time you're 30, you need 2 times your salary. So if you're making 60,000, still using that number, at the age of 30, you need $120,000 saved. Well, guess what? The average American doesn't have $120,000. And that's not counting people that's just 30 or less. That's counting people all the way up in 60s, 70s, and older. The average American has less than that 120,000. But guess what? The average household debt is 155,000. Wow, that's a big difference, right? When you think about the debt versus what's saved. If you're 40, you need to have 3 times your salary. You need to have 3 times your salary. So that's, if you're making 60,000, that's $180,000 you need to have saved. $180,000. If you are 50, you need to have 6 times your salary saved, and that is $360,000. If you're 60, you need to have 8 times your salary saved. That's $480,000. And if you are 67 or up, you need to have at least 10 times or more of your salary. 10 times, though, least amount of your salary saved. So if you're making 60,000 a year, that's $600,000. So we look at that and go, oh my God, I'm 50 and I don't even have 100,000 saved. Yeah, we got some making up to do, but that's okay. Again, this is all about beginning to be right where you are, not where you want to be, not where Sally is, but beginning to be right where you are. So we have to get that mindset that says, I will still be able to accomplish this based on where I am. And what does that look like? So that's where, again, you put those milestones out there to begin to be right where you are. And here's the thing, the earlier you start, the better. If you have a company that gives a 401k or that has, will match in a 401k, tip, at least put what they're matching. Your company matches 3%, 5%, 6%, whatever they match. At least put that in. So that if 5% from them is $250, you put in $250. Guess what? That's $500 a month, or however often you're putting in. That's $500. Then you look for the market to perform, average a rate of 7% return for the year. And then that compound interest starts. So you can begin to see how you're going to reach that first milestone. So if you're starting out, again, begin to be where you are. If you don't have a dime saved, that's okay. Let's start now. Set the first milestone to say, by the end of July, I will have $300 saved. Work out your SMART plan to decide how you're going to get there. Work that out. And then work your way up to that $300. Set the next goal. Milestones, small accomplishments along the way, because this will help you identify your financial health. This will help you begin to see your financial scorecard a little bit clearer and better. And yes, we all have financial scorecards. So whether you're in debt, you're looking to get, you're not in debt, you're already debt free, whether you're getting ready for retirement, just starting out, working, wherever you are in life, we all have that financial scorecard. If we are working, we have income coming in, we have expenses going out. We have a financial scorecard. This will help you meet goals that you add to that scorecard, and it will help you understand if your financial health is good or bad. And we all need to understand, where's that financial health right now? Is it good or is it bad? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? So again, you want to make sure you're setting your goals and make sure that they're SMART, meaning they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable. That's a big one. The A is a big one, attainable. Don't set goals that's going to set you up for failure. Set those milestones so that they're attainable for you. Doesn't mean that you won't have to make some sacrifice. Doesn't mean that you won't have to change some things in your life, but set the goal, make sure it's attainable so that you don't set yourself up for failure. Make sure it's a stretch goal. Now, don't say, at the end of July, I'm going to save $20. Come on, let's do a stretch goal that is attainable, that we may have to do a little sacrifice for, but we can still ascertain it, right? And then we want to make sure it's realistic or relevant. I love the R because that's where you want to make sure that it's relevant to where you are, who you are in your life. What's relevant for me and realistic for me in my life may not be the same for you, and vice versa. That is okay. Right? But you want to make sure that is realistic and is relevant for you. And then, of course, time bound. Now, the S and the M is to make sure that it's SMART, right? It's specific, that it's going to be very detailed, very clear of what you're looking to accomplish. And the M is that it's going to be measurable, right? And that's where, again, these milestones come in. Are you measuring your success? What does that look like? Where are you on that track to becoming a millionaire, a multimillionaire, whatever your desire is. Where are you? And are you meeting that milestone every step of the way? That's important to identify. So, again, understanding that nearly 39% of Americans don't have any savings. And then you have nearly half of Americans who aren't ready for retirement. We need to make sure we start setting these milestones for those big things in our life now, not later. Again, I wanted to focus on retirement today, but you could be setting a milestone to get your credit right, to get out of debt, to purchase a house. There's so many different things we can set milestones for, but we want to make sure that we're ready for our future. And the only way we can get there is to begin to be right where we are today, not where someone else is. So again, you set it by doing SMART goals. You follow those SMART goals. You follow the plan. Celebrate your success along the way. It's important to celebrate the success along the way for these money milestones. And again, I'm going to give the age brackets one more time here so you have them. This was a study that was done by CNBC. So if you're 25, you need to at least have half or 1 times your salary. If you're 30, you need to have 2 times your salary. If you're 40, you need to have 3 times your salary. 50, 6 times your salary. 60, 8 times your salary. And if you're above 67, 10 times or more, 10 times more or more of your salary saved, put aside, ready to help you with retirement, getting to where we need to be. So for you young adults out there that's 25 or less, start now. Don't wait like some of us did till we're in our 40s and try to make up time. If you start saving when you're like 18, 19, you can literally save like $200 a month if you're working, and most people are at the age of 18. Take $200 a month, begin to invest it. You'll be amazed at what it will do for you by the time you're 65 versus trying to invest thousands a month because you waited till you're 40, 45 and realize, oh my God, I'm not ready for retirement. So, as always, with Amazing Real Rubies, we pray that this information has been beneficial for you. If nothing else, we pray you got some type of tip or nugget that you will be able to use and apply to where you are currently in your life. We want to thank you, as always, for joining. We encourage you to keep God in every decision made, lesson learned, and message taught. And until we meet again, I want you to make it a Ruby day. Thanks for joining. Take care and have a blessed one.